This is Jen from over at worldofjencraft.com, and this is our card for today. So I was browsing through Pinterest for some card sketch ideas because I'm kind of running out of them and all my stuff's starting to look the same. And I ran across this particular sketch that had this kind of circle cut out of it, and I thought, well, that's it. I'm going to give it a try. So this is it. Let's get to the supplies and I will show you how I did it. I used the Soft Sky Classic Weave ribbon, the Magical Day stamp set and coordinating dies, and the Eastern Beauty stamp set for the sentiment that I used on it, the Stitch Shapes framelits and the Layering Circles framelits, Memento ink Tuxedo Black for stamping the image, and Basic Black for stamping my sentiment. Stampin' Blends, I used just a few, which were Light and Dark Pink Pirouette, Light Old Olive, Light and Dark Daffodil Delight, and the Ivory. And then, of course, I used a touch of Wink of Stella on her as well. The cardstock that I used is a Soft Sky 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and a 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and a 2 1/8 inch circle. Whisper White is 4 by 5 1/4, a 1 7/8 inch stitched circle. And if you don't have stitched dies, you can just use the regular circle for that, and just a scrap to stamp out your images. So I think the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out our Big Shot, and we are going to do some cutting. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm trying to talk too fast. It always happens, then I have to repeat myself, and yeah, so I should learn just to go at my own pace and not worry about trying to speed through these things. So the circle that we are going to be using, I forgot to write down the measurement for this, is a 2 5/8 about inch circle. So what we're going to do is we are going to set this in the center of our 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 piece of cardstock, and we want it to be, you know, as centered as you can. I usually just eyeball it, but you could certainly pull out a ruler and measure it if you want to make sure that it is exactly in the center. So let me get this turned over, and from this angle that looks about right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run this through my Big Shot and cut this out. And then I'm going to take my Big Shot out of the screen because we are done with that for now. I'm going to bring in my handy dandy paper trimmer, and what we are going to do now is we're going to put this in our paper trimmer, and I want to cut off 1 1/4 inches from this end, and then we'll flip it and cut it off from this end. So right there, and then I'm going to flip this and line it up and cut this side as well. This piece here and this piece here are just going to be trash, and we're going to keep the top and the bottom. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this a little bit different than how we usually do it. I think I'm going to wait and do my coloring last. So these two pieces are just going to get centered onto our 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper White. And I just went ahead and made sure that I put adhesive going even around this circular part, just so it all stuck down. And then I'm just going to kind of run it along this edge as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on this one too. And then I'm going to take this piece, and I found it easier for me sitting down to kind of grab it by this edge here and just line it up so it is centered like that. And then I'm just going to flip it around and do the same here. This just kind of helps me get a better grasp on eyeballing it, making sure that my edges are even, and then I can stick it down. So this is going to have this ribbon wrapped around the back side. So I'm going to go ahead and just put adhesive on this whole thing since we're going to be sticking it down. And then you're just going to wrap your ribbon in the center of this. So we'll just line this up and then cut it down here and do the same on this edge. And then I do like to run a little bit of adhesive back over my ribbon just to make sure it all sticks down when I put it onto my card base. So that's just going to get adhered onto our card base. And this piece is going to get popped up with dimensionals, and I'm just going to put 4 on there, and I'm leaving the center of it open so it fits nicely around the ribbon that will be in the center of it. And that is just going to go down here in the center of the larger circle. And you could certainly use a scalloped circle if you would like, but I kind of liked the clean edges on the regular circle. Then I'm just going to go ahead and stick down our stitch circle on this. And let's go ahead and stamp out the sentiment. And that is going to get stamped out in our basic black, the archival. And the reason I chose this sentiment is because it perfectly went around the curve of my circle. So, and I just love the font of this, the really sweet cursive. I felt like it went nicely with our little mermaid. So our mermaid, I didn't do anything special with her. In fact, I'll bring this back in. Just the pink pirouette on her body and the Daffodil Delight. I kind of alternated the light and the dark on this. And her face was the ivory with a little bit of dark pink pirouette for her cheeks. And then I used the old olive and the dark Daffodil Delight for the little seahorse. So let's grab out our big shot once again, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut out these 2 images using the coordinating dies that come with the stamp set, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut each of them out separately, and then I'll come back to you. Alright, I just love how this little seahorse is so stinking cute. So I'm going to just grab out some Stampin' Dimensionals, put one there and one down here, and then I'm going to cut one in half to put just about right here. And then she is going to go kind of off a little bit to the side of my circle. So probably, like right here. And then our little seahorse is just going to get a mini glue dot. And he's going to go kind of off like this. Then I have a bow. So we'll go ahead and tie our bow and hope for the best. So again, I like to make my bow a little bit smaller than what I want my final version to be. And I don't want this bow to be super big because it's on the side of it, and I want it to you know, enhance the image but not take away from it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it about this size, and then we're just going to trim off the ends here, and that is going to get stuck down with a mini glue dot. I might have cut those a little too short, but that's okay. And then that is going to get stuck right here up against the very edge of the circle. So you don't want that ribbon showing from behind. And then I kind of did tuck in my little bow underneath of her. And then I'm going to go ahead and take another little mini glue dot and just stick it underneath of the bow so it all just sticks down onto the card nicely. And for our last and final step, which of course you certainly don't have to do, but you know how I like my wink of Stella. I just think it adds just that extra little bit of sparkle that brings the image to life. You know, she's super cute as is, but man, when you put this sparkle and shimmer on her, I just think that she shines. So I'm just gonna run this all on here, and of course we can't forget the little seahorse. So that's it. That is our card for today. So pretty darn simple, and I suppose, you know, you could still get the same look if you didn't want to cut out the circle and then, you know, cut out the edges here. You could just go ahead and put a strip of cardstock going across with a larger white circle on there. That would work just as well, but I kind of like the way this looks and the extra dimension that it gives when you actually cut the circle out of the cardstock itself. So worldofjencraft.com if you would like to pop on over there for a not a tutorial, a PDF that includes dimensions for the project, a photo of the project, and a supply list in case you're interested in purchasing any of the supplies that I used today. So don't forget the celebration is still going on. It's going on till the end of the month, March 31st. And also don't forget to hit subscribe if you like what you see on my channel. Thanks again for watching, and I will check you guys on my next tutorial. Have a wonderful day. Bye.